turn to Proverbs 3, and I'm just going to read from verses 1 through 4. Proverbs 3, 1 through 4. You don't have to stand. You may be seated. It's just 4 short verses. It says, "My son, do not forget my teachings, but keep my commands in your heart, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you peace and prosperity. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man." You will win good favor in the sight of God first and then man. A lot of times we have it confused. We want favor with man first and then God. You know, we want people to see us first, you know, out in public and in the open, and then we give God his behind closed doors. You know, and so it says, "But if you follow these commandments and do these things, I come first and then man." And so you have it all in one, but it's in the cardinal way it should be, God first and then man. The other week, Pastor Gary Bradford really hit something when he was giving the word. He said that we try to get in where we don't fit in. That hit me. I don't know about anybody else, but we try to get into places and do things and be a part of things that where we don't belong, because we children of God and we kings to the Most High King, but we chasing after all this other stuff and we wondering why we don't fit in, because we trying to be somewhere where we don't belong. And then Elder Jeff came and he said, you know, a tent. We willing to tarnish our relationship with our Father, from which everything comes from, over 10% of something that belongs to him anyway. You know, and that really hit me, because like me, I know the rest of y'all don't like feeling unappreciated. You know, you do something for somebody and you give them something and they won't even say thank you. The smallest bit of gratitude is just to say thank you. You know, it's been times I don't even loan money anymore. If I have it to lend, I have it to give. Because I don't want to mess up any relationships with anybody, because I'm giving you something from my heart to bless you. And then when it's time for you to repay me, well, I had to do this and I had to do that. Well, you know my heart. You know, that if I had it, I would have gave it to you, but I'm looking at you with new hair, your kids got new shoes, but where's my money? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, where's my money? So I don't lend money anymore. But we've been blessed with jobs. We've been blessed. We prosperous. Whether we doing bad or feel we doing bad or not, we are prosperous because we here right now. You know, we here right now. We eating every day. We clothed. We have a roof over our head. You know, it may not be what the next person have or what we think that we should have, but we have it. And so we're prosperous, but we refuse to give just a little bit. A little bit, and it's required. It's required. I didn't even have none of this written down. Let me go back and find my place. In Jeremiah 2:32,
yes, sir.
Y'all check this out. It says, "Does a young woman forget her jewelry, a bride her wedding ornaments? Yet my people have forgotten me days without number." Think about that. A bride on her wedding day. Does she forget her ornaments? Do you show up to a wedding without her? That's the most important thing. God should be the most important thing to us in our lives. But he says, yet my children forget me days without number. Days without number. Without even giving the slightest thought of him. The slightest reverence for him. Days without number. And when you jump down to verse 35, it says, you say, I am innocent. He is not angry with me. But I will pass judgment on you because you say I have not sinned. How many times we say it's payday and we come to church and we know we owe God what's his. And all these things where we're trying to get in where we don't fit in have gotten away and blocked us from giving him what's due. And we say, Lord, you know my heart. Just like they say, you say, I have not sinned. That's what you say. I have not sinned. That's what I say. Lord, you know my heart. And he does know my heart. He knows that my unlimited data plan on my iPhone comes before him, apparently. You know what I'm saying? Huh? He knows the extra gas money because I like to ride sometime, apparently comes before him. But I had the audacity to say, you know my heart. If I had it, I would give it to you. You know, yeah. And then he says, he's talking to the children of Israel here. He says, why do you go about so much changing your ways? You will be disappointed by Egypt as you were in Assyria. You will also leave that place with your hands on your head, for the Lord has rejected those you trust, and you will not be helped by them. How many times have we put other things first only to be disappointed? Leaving with our hands on our head, stressed out. You know, when we think about tithes and offering, we say, well, the Lord don't want me to go without lights. He don't want me to go, you know what I'm saying, without paying my rent or my mortgage. But if we trust him, and like Pastor was saying when we were singing, he's able, if we trust and really believe that he's able to do exceeding and abundantly, then we go ahead and give him what's rightfully his and let him handle the rest. You know, when we used to go to church, before tithes and offering, we would hold our offering in our right hand, and we say we give God what's right, not what's left. You know, but a lot of times we get on bill pay, and we do this, and that, and then we got $20, $30 to spare. Not what's rightfully his, but what's left. You know, but what's left. I'm gonna be, yeah. If anybody's ever been to my house, you know I'm trying to run a business, build a business, and handle business for my house at the same time. So if you've been in my office, I have papers and stuff everywhere. And so about 2 months ago, my light bill came. It got mixed up in the shuffle, and I forgot to pay it. And so when the disconnection notice came, it wasn't red, it was just white. So I'm thinking, okay, I didn't even look at it. I just seen it was a light bill. It's probably going to be during the week I open it, you know what I'm saying, whenever. I was in town running some errands, and my nephew called. He said, the light's out. I said, well, is it raining? He said, no. I said, well, let me call the light company. Maybe, you know, it's a power surge. Because, you know, I had the money to pay the bill, and I'm just thinking it wasn't due yet. And so I called the lady, and she said, well, no, actually, we disconnected your service. You know, and I hit her with that, you know, man, check my record. I ain't never been late. I ain't never got a disconnect. She just holding the phone. I'm like, are you there? You know, I'm here, sir. I say, well, my bill was $160 or whatever. I say, well, let me go ahead and pay that. She said, it don't work like that. Let me calculate what you need to pay. My wife might need to step out because I never told her how much that mistake cost me. And so I told the lady, I said, ma'am, I say, my wife 9 months pregnant. I say, she at the end. I said, man, she hot, you know, and she can't come home to no hot house. I say, my kids at home. I said, please, ma'am, you know, what I got to do to cut my lights on? It's going to cost you $400. I said, what? $400? I say, man, the reconnection fee is $40. Well, it's the summertime, you're using more energy, so the reconnection fee is more. But, because my family needed those lights, because my wife, I wasn't going to let her come home to a house without lights, without hesitation. I got my bank card out without looking at what we going to eat. That's grocery money, that's gas money. You know, that's money for this. They didn't give me no option. I couldn't come before Blue Bonnet Electricity and tell them, you know my heart, I'll pay it when I get it, but cut my lights back on. You know what I'm saying? They just held the phone. She said, either you gonna pay it today, and then, you know, she had the audacity to tell me if I pay it today, the lights might come back on today. Might. But we don't have that privilege to come in this sanctuary and choose to either give what's rightfully his or suffer the consequences. Suppose we did like the old school Baptists where we walk around and put the money in the plate. What if the prophets were standing right here? And you came around and you didn't have nothing, so you gonna touch the bucket. And they pull you close and whisper in your ear and tell you, if you don't give what's rightfully his, he gonna disconnect your lights. You know what I'm saying? I bet you will go back and you'll pull something out. I bet that. I was left choiceless. Either pay me my money or go without the service. Us Christians got it good. We got it good. We can come and ask for forgiveness. We can come and play these games, you know my heart, and run the Chili's after church, or Golden Corral because they got the chocolate fountain for the fruit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm trying to say. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. I came to encourage y'all and to be real with myself. Let's do what's right, church. I was reading last night that more believers and non-believers give money to charity than they do the tithes. They did a study that Christian believers that believe the word, that believe everything that is in the word, on average give 2.5%. Not 10%, 2.5%.